What if the reason you feel stuck, trapped in a season that won't end, isn't because God forgot you, but because He's forging something inside you that can only be built in the wilderness? There's a moment in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings where a man named Strider, Ranger, wanderer, a man hiding from his own bloodline for 60 years, is told 6 words that change everything. Put aside the ranger. Become who you were born to be. For 60 years, Aragorn ranged the wilderness, running from a failed lineage, letting the shame of Isildur's weakness define him, living in victimhood disguised as humility, soul and body governing, fear and shame at the wheel. But here's what Tolkien understood that most people miss. The wilderness wasn't Aragorn's punishment, it was his preparation. Every mile he ranged was forging the king inside the ranger. The frontier didn't break him, it made him. This series is about people like that, real people, from the Bible, from history, people who ranged the wilderness, who walked in diplomacy and power and servanthood on the open range and became who they were born to be. We call them the diplomatic Power Rangers. Their stories are about to change how you see your own wilderness. Here's what culture tells you right now. If you're not winning by 30, you're behind. If your career isn't climbing, you're failing. If you're in a waiting season, something's wrong with you. Clone culture says there's only one path. Corporate ladder, the viral moment, the overnight success, the Tower of Babel mentality. Let us make a name for ourselves. And if you're stuck in the wilderness, waiting, struggling, unseen, you must be doing something wrong. But what if the wilderness is exactly where your design gets forged? What if the open range, the hard years, the unseen years, the years everyone else is making it and you're still walking, is the very thing that makes you dangerous? If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now. Hit that bell. Let it ring, because this series is going to change how you see your entire life. Let's go. In the book of Numbers, God sends 12 spies into the promised land. They come back with a report. 10 of them say, "The land is full of giants. We can't take it. We look like grasshoppers in our own eyes." Soul and body talking, fear governing. But 2 men, Joshua and Caleb, had a different report. Caleb said, "Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it." Same giants, same fortified cities, same impossible odds. But Caleb had what God himself called a different spirit. Numbers chapter 14 verse 24 says, "My servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit in him and has followed me fully, I will bring into the land." Here's the part nobody preaches about. God made Caleb a promise that day, but then he made him wait 45 years in the wilderness while an entire generation of doubters died around him. 45 years of watching other people fail, fall, and fade, while his promise sat unclaimed. And then at age 85, when every voice in culture said, "Retire, rest, settle, your best years are behind you," Caleb walked up to Joshua and said 5 words that still echo through history. "Give me this mountain." Not the easy territory, not the flat land, not the safe inheritance. He asked for Hebron, the land where the giants still lived, the Anakim, the biggest, most fortified, most dangerous territory available. At 85 years old, he said, "I am as strong this day as on the day that Moses sent me. Just as my strength was then, so now is my strength for war, both for going out and for coming in." That's spirit governing soul and body. His soul could have said, "You're too old." His body could have said, "You're too tired." But his spirit, that different spirit, said, "This mountain is mine, and I am taking it." Caleb's design didn't have an expiration date, and neither does yours. Esther was an orphan. No parents, no power, no platform. A Jewish girl in a Persian empire that didn't know her identity. She was raised by her cousin, Mordecai, and through a series of events she never planned, she became Queen of Persia. But being queen didn't mean being safe. When Haman plotted genocide against every Jew in the empire, Mordecai sent word to Esther, "You need to go before the king." The problem? In Persia, approaching the king uninvited meant death, even for the queen, unless he extended his golden scepter. You died, period. Esther's soul said, "I could die." Her body said, "Stay safe, stay hidden, stay comfortable." But her spirit, through Mordecai's words, spoke the truth that still echoes. Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? She fasted 3 days. She prepared, and then she walked into that throne room, uninvited, knowing it could be the last room she ever entered. King extended his scepter. Here's what makes Esther a diplomatic Power Ranger. She didn't just burst in screaming, "Haman is evil." She was strategic. She was diplomatic. She invited the king and Haman to a banquet, then another banquet. She built the moment. She read the room. She let the spirit guide the timing. And when the moment came, she spoke. "If I have found favor in your sight, O king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request. For we have been sold, I and my people, to be destroyed." Diplomacy, courage, timing, spirit governing soul and body. An orphan who saved a nation, not through force, but through walking in her design. At that exact moment, history needed her. Most people think St. Patrick was Irish. He wasn't. He was a 16-year-old Roman British boy who was kidnapped by Irish raiders and enslaved for 6 years as a shepherd on the wild Irish frontier. 6 years alone on a mountainside, tending sheep in the rain and cold. No family, no hope, no rescue coming. But something happened in that wilderness. Patrick, who by his own admission had been spiritually lukewarm before his capture, began to pray. He wrote later, "I would pray constantly during the daylight hours. The love of God and the fear of him surrounded me more and more. And faith grew, and the spirit was roused." His spirit woke up in the wilderness. The slavery didn't destroy him, it forged him. After 6 years, he escaped. He made it home to Britain. He was free. He was safe. He could have lived a comfortable life and never looked back. But then came the dream. He heard the voice of the Irish, the very people who enslaved him, calling, "We appeal to you, holy servant boy, to come and walk among us." His soul said, "Are you insane? They enslaved you." His body said, "Stay safe, stay home." But his spirit, forged in 6 years of wilderness prayer, said, "Go back." Patrick returned to Ireland, not as a slave, as an apostle. He spent the rest of his life transforming the very nation that had enslaved him. He didn't go back for revenge. He went back for redemption. He baptized thousands. He planted hundreds of churches. He confronted druids and kings with diplomatic brilliance, speaking their language, using their cultural frameworks, while never compromising his message. The wilderness made him. Slavery forged him. And the frontier that once held him captive became the open range of his greatest design. That's what the Ranger life does. It doesn't define you as a victim. It forges you as a king. World says your waiting season is wasted time. Your resume gap is a failure. Your wilderness years are something to be ashamed of. The Tower of Babel culture says if you're not climbing, you're falling. But Caleb waited 45 years and conquered a mountain. At 85. Esther was an orphan and saved a nation. Patrick was a slave, transformed a country. Your wilderness isn't your grave, it's your forge. Your design doesn't have an expiration date. The open range isn't punishment, it's preparation. The question isn't, is it too late? The question is, what mountain is my spirit telling me to climb? So here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to identify your wilderness, not to wallow in it, but to reframe it. Ask yourself, what is being forged in me right now that can only be forged in this season? Maybe you're 25 and feel behind. Maybe you're 55 and feel forgotten. Maybe you're in a job that feels like slavery. Maybe you're in a waiting season that feels endless. Your spirit knows. It's been whispering, give me this mountain. For such a time as this, go back. Whatever it's whispering, that is your frontier. That is your open range. That is your design calling. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop in the comments right now. What mountain is your spirit calling you to climb? What wilderness are you in that might actually be forging something powerful? Let's build a community of rangers who ride for each other. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. This is episode 1 of a 12-part series, The Diplomatic Power Rangers. Every episode, we're uncovering real people from the Bible and history who walked in their unique design on the open range. You don't want to miss what's coming next. And if you want to discover your unique design, your DNA of design, take the free quiz. Link is in the description. It takes 5 minutes and it will change how you see everything. I'll see you in the next episode. Let's ride.